Let me explain a little bit more about pachinko. Why doesn't the government do something about it? As far as I have researched, I have found the following possible causes. Minasan konnichiwa, and welcome to Let's Ask Shogo. Your image of Japan may be the traditional culture, food, and beautiful scenery. However, behind all of that, did you know that Japan is one of the countries with the most people suffering from gambling addiction? So today, I'll explain the problem of gambling addiction in Japan. Next, I will share the information as far as I've been able to find out about the causes of why there are so many people who are gambling addicts. By watching this video, you'll be able to learn about the side of Japan that is hardly discussed. I really hope this video will be a good opportunity for anyone interested in Japan to avoid becoming a victim. After watching this video, please let me know in the comments how gambling is handled in your country. In this channel, you can take a closer look at Japanese traditional culture, tips on travel to Kyoto, and social problems in Japan. So learners and lovers of Japanese language and culture, be sure to subscribe to enjoy more content. それでは本日も参りましょう。First, let me explain about the problem of gambling addiction in Japan. According to data released by the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare in September 2017, 3.6% of Japanese adults, or 3.2 million people, are suspected of having a gambling problem. This is far more than in Canada, 0.9%, France, 1.2%, Italy, 0.4%, and Germany, 0.2%, etc. However, this number is only the number of people who recognize that they have an addiction, and the actual number is probably much higher. Among those who are suspected of having a gambling addiction, about 80% say that pachinko is the main source of their addiction. Pachinko is a gambling facility that can be found anywhere in Japan's cities. In 2017, it is estimated that 9 million people used pachinko annually, spending an average of 2.17 million yen per person per year. In addition, there's also public gambling, such as horse racing, bicycle racing, boat racing, and auto racing. Recently, apps have made it increasingly easy for you to participate in gambling. Why then are there so many people with gambling addictions? As far as I have researched, I have found the following possible causes. 1. Stress caused by long working hours. 2. Isolation of addicts due to the culture of shame. 3. Delays in measures such as age verification, restrictions on advertising, and educational activities on addiction. Japan has a problem of forcing company employees to work long hours. This stress led to the popularity of gambling, which is an easy and highly stimulating activity. In addition, due to Japan's collectivist culture, people generally believe that they should not bother others, which is an act of shame. Therefore, even if a person suffers from gambling addiction, they often keep it to themselves for a long time, unable to discuss it with anyone. If you'd like to learn more about Japan's long working hours and collective society, you can watch my previous videos. However, as I mentioned earlier, the biggest possible cause is the sheer number of pachinko games. Let me explain a little bit more about pachinko. Pachinko is an arcade machine similar to a slot machine that was created in Japan around 1925 to 1930. The player puts in small silver balls and pulls a lever. This ejects the balls from the top, and the silver balls roll around the game field. The player earns points when a silver ball falls on a specific spot. Points can be exchanged for prizes or cash that players can later exchange. Pachinko can be played for as little as 100 yen and does not require any particular skill, making it easy for anyone to play. It is said that the simplicity of pachinko is the biggest reason why it has become so popular and widespread. At the end of 2021, there were 7,637 pachinko parlors in Japan, with approximately 2.13 million pachinko machines. Although the number of pachinko stores have decreased greatly due to the COVID pandemic, you can still find a pachinko store almost anywhere in Japan. By the way, there is a machine that's very similar to pachinko called the Pachi slot. In Pachi slot, players put metals into a slot machine, pull a lever to spin the reels, and win prizes by matching certain patterns. Pachi slot can only be exchanged for cash at some stores, and prizes are often exchanged for gift certificates or e-money. The biggest problem with pachinko, however, is that it is not considered public gambling, even though it is, in fact, gambling. Huh? What does that even mean? The Japanese criminal code prohibits gambling activities other than public gambling, such as horse racing, bicycle racing, boat racing, and auto racing. The Japanese casino law defines pachinko as not a form of gambling. However, pachinko shops have prize exchange booths where people can exchange their points for cash. However, direct cash payouts are prohibited. In other words, if you enter a pachinko parlor and win the game, you can get the money and leave. However, it is not illegal because another organization is exchanging the money for it. Yes, it's a very gray business. But because it was such a gray business, they have been able to spread it so widely. But if there's so many victims of addiction, why doesn't the government do something about it? That is because pachinko is a major source of tax revenue. According to the National Tax Agency, pachinko-related tax revenues in fiscal 2019 amounted to approximately 310 billion yen. It also creates many jobs, which is another aspect that cannot be suddenly reduced. In recent years, however, regulations on pachinko shops have been gradually tightened, requiring them to limit their hours of operation and control how long customers stay. I've been working in the tourism business in Kyoto for many years, so I've met a lot of people who want to study or live in Japan in the future. To all of you who have that dream, please do not go to pachinko or pachi slots. Pachinko and pachi slot are horrifying places that have made millions of people addicted to gambling. Yet they're in every city and anyone over the age of 18 can easily go in. When you come to Japan, you may become a little interested in it, or your Japanese friends may invite you to join them. Please have the courage to say no. Then lastly, today's conclusion. I explained the problem of gambling addiction in Japan. 3.6% of Japanese adults, or 3.2 million people, are suspected of having a gambling problem. The possible causes of why there are so many people are addicted to gambling are as follows. 1. Stress caused by long work hours. 2. Isolation of addicts due to the culture of shame. 3. Delays in measures such as age verification, restrictions on advertising, etc. Among those who are suspected of having a gambling addiction, about 80% say that pachinko is the main source of their addiction. The government struggles to deal with this problem because Japanese casino law defines pachinko as not a form of gambling and because it is a major source of tax revenue. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If this video helped you to learn about a new side of Japan, please hit the like button and let me know your thoughts in the comments. And all of the other activities that I do are in the description box, so I hope you can check that out too. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video. 皆さんどうもありがとうございました。Interested in training katana skills from anywhere worldwide with Let's Ask Shogo? Join the Yushin-Ryu online lessons to learn how to perform the cool and unique EI techniques from modern-day Musashi Yushin Sensei. I, Shogo, a third-dan trainee of the style myself, will be your interpreter to explain everything perfectly in English for you. Every lesson will be recorded for you to rewatch anytime, and official dan ranks will be provided to prove your progress. Check out the description box or pinned comment to sign up now and for more information. So personally, I've went to a pachinko just once in my life, and I only used 1,000 yen. I just wanted to simply experience what pachinko is like, because a lot of people talk about it. It's shown in a lot of anime, manga and stuff like that, and I wanted to know what it looks like actually. It's just a sort of experience when I was a university student. So I went in and I put in 1,000 yen. Those small balls came out, and it was like over in like 10 seconds, and I was like, I do not know what just happened. I guess you need to keep on playing for a little bit more until there's more of those tiny silver balls to come out or whatever, but I really didn't understand how it works. And after that, I watched a couple of YouTube videos of people doing it, and I finally understood how the system works, but I personally didn't understand what it's about at all. And I do know, they're not like my really close friends, but I do know a couple of people from my university who really got addicted to pachinko. Say, for example, they would have their part-time jobs, and they won't go to school anymore. They would just constantly be doing part-time jobs like working at restaurants or whatever, and then all the money they earn they put it into the pachinko because they want to do more gambling. Yeah. And then they don't go to school anymore, they had to quit. So I know a lot of these people who had to quit university or school, not just university, but sometimes high schools too. I've known a lot of people who had to suffer from this. So it's a little bit scary. The people that I've known in the past who were able to, do okay with school and studying and such, once they have the freedom, for example, once they become like a university student, they start going to those places, their lives completely change. And once you're addicted, it's very, very hard. I'm pretty sure many of you know about this, but it's really hard to solve it, fix it, So I think it's really horrifying that such places like pachinko's, bocce slots are just so accessible in Japan. Anyone could go there, and as explained in the main part of the video, yes, the restrictions are getting a lot stronger. In a lot of, for example, video games, there's a lot of restrictions on showing pachinko shops in, like, for example, if you walk around the city, like if the video game is based in Japan, a lot of video games are not allowed to have pachinko shops in the streets anymore and such. I've heard of that before too, but still, you could go. It's there. It's like literally right there, anywhere in any city in Japan. So I think it's really scary. So again, as I said in the last part of the video, as I wrote on the last part, I really don't want you guys to go. Yeah. If you're interested in how the system works, and just look up pachinko or pachislan on the on YouTube or whatever, and you'll see how it works. And if you ever have a chance to come to Japan, please don't go. And I'm pretty sure if you make friends in universities and such, a lot of people will like ask you to go together with them. I had some friends who had asked me too when I was in university. I was just constantly saying no, and I really hope you can say to your friends no as well.